What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Total Warhammer 2 multiplayer battles. Today we have a 2v2 for you, and let's do a quick overview of all the units before we get going. So if we see here, we've got the two lines clearly set up. I'm the yellow and my teammate's blue. And then we have the two enemy armies like that, set up like that. So we were up against some dinosaurs, lizardmen. They were bringing along 4 units of Saurus spear shields, 1 unit of Croxigors. They had their leader up on a Carnosaur, 1 unit of Temple Guard, a Skink Priest on a... Oh, I didn't realise that was a priest. I thought that was just the general unit when we fought it. But yeah, that's a Skink Priest on a Stegosaurus. They had 1 dinosaur artillery, the solar engine, and then they had these skirmish units, which obviously we couldn't see, but they're right there on the sides. Whereas the other one there is 2 cohort skinks, chameleon skinks even. And then the other enemy we're up against were Skaven, just with an endless horde on these guys. Look at it. They stacked all the units up. They're just so numerous. So for precise numbers, I believe they brought 8 infantry units, around about. 2 slingers, 2 death globe throwers, 4 artillery I think it is? No, 2 artillery, just 4 apiece, that's it. And then some rat ogres, and lots of leaders, it was seems. They got the actual general, and then the 2 assassins, and a plague priest. Like that's a lot of damage to be done right there. Whereas I was playing as the Dark Elves of Naggarond. I brought along a pretty much symmetrical line, so I had Dark Spears, 4 units of them, Dread Spears even, up the front. I had 2 Blackheart Corsairs and 2 Witch Elves covering each flank. In the forest I had hidden away my Blackguard of Naggarond, just trying to keep him out of the fire. Malekith rocking his, is it Sindragosa? No, that's the World of Warcraft one. I can't remember it, but it's their dragon. And then 1 artillery unit. Mostly it was just to counter any artilleries, which I mostly do. He'll just focus hitting back at the Skaven artillery the whole time. And then my teammate was the High Elves, who brought on a lot of range. A lot of range. So we have a whole row of archers and a front row of Lothern Sea Guards, 1 unit of anti-infantry melee swordsmen of Hoeth, and then Tyrion on the ground. Then in the air, a Star Dragon. So not the most versatile build, but it definitely gave us the advantage in the charge. So if they were going to charge us, we would punish them for it. So yeah, that's the battlefield. Basically, the start of the exchanges was we were in position expecting them to engage, and I saw all this artillery and was like, okay, we can survive this. So I told my teammate, get your high tier unit out there, get him into the forest with my Black Guard where he can't be targeted. My Dread Spears can take the brunt of the fire, because I don't know why, I find Dread Spears do really well against this artillery. They really don't take many hits upon each hit. I don't know if it's a statistic thing in the game where they say, oh yeah, Dread Spears have shields, so they're going to take less damage, but I don't know. And then the idea was to hold the line, and maybe use my artillery to take out some of theirs, or get our leaders in. So yeah, let's just have a look. Whoa, whoa, big hits there on the Swordsman of Hoeth. Absolutely no chance in being full fighting force. So here we go, we send in the dragons. There we go, there's my front line taking the brunt of that damage, as I said. Look at that giant dinosaur sculpture in the background. Oh, just hear the screams. Fantastic. We get a look over here. The dinosaurs pull back their line towards over here, I believe it is. Not yet, let's see. Here we go. So I send in Malekith. And I decide if they're going to just sit back and let the artillery do all the work, I'm going to bring in some spells and make them suffer that way. Here we go. First big breath. Take out a bunch of that dino infantry because I know it's a lot more high tier than the Skaven infantry, which is a lot easier to deal with. More artillery shots. Just my poor Dread Spears. Spend your whole life training to be a soldier, just to get blown up from a distance. So here we go, Star Dragon comes in and lets a breath off and absolutely rips into that unit. I believe that's a Temple Guard as well, which is a really big win for us. Here we go, so this becomes this weird exchange we had going for the first half of this battle. The Skaven would come out with their range units, try and pepper the dragons, we'd send the dragons back to get some more spells done. See, they just exchange in and out, in and out. They do eventually start targeting my, oh, he still hadn't moved his swordsman into cover, so they're just getting absolutely destroyed. They do eventually start targeting my artillery, but that's a little while. I think the artillery's already taken out one of the catapults. Oh no, two. So they're doing a good job. At the very least reducing the rate in which they'll deal damage to us. There's some spells going off, like I said, I had lots of spells equipped on Malekith, so I was like, I'll try and get a bunch of damage done with that. And there we go, the dinosaurs have reformed those lines. Ooh, big solar engine hit there. There we go, they start targeting the artillery, they've worked out that that's what I'm countering with. Here it comes. Big hit there. Oh no! Oh! That one guy had no chance, didn't he? Oh, and then I didn't even realise this. They bring in the chameleons to get some damage off. Don't remember if I counter with anything for him. Don't think I remember them being there, actually, if I'm honest. So here we go, this is them countering, as I said. Again, my teammate doesn't quite realise that you can't just let the Skaven hit on the dragon, because if you watch his leadership it just flies down. Took out one of the catapults with a breath though. I probably would have saved the breath for infantry units. The artillery just got absolutely shattered by those chameleon. So yeah, very blow for blow fight at the moment. Let's speed it up a bit. It was a slow one, no one really wanted to commit fully. Still just more artillery exchanges, bombardment after bombardment. I send my lead around because I'm like, oh, try and get some more spells up. See, my dread spears are really suffering now. But they are running out of ammo, which was the whole plan. I send the Skaven in again to try and counter, get a breath off on them. And look, here we go. Let's just watch this. I start to get some spells off on these rats. Whoa! Where he stacked them all up, it just chops them up, the spell. So effective. It killed, I think, at least 100 in that spell. Absolutely brutal. Look at all that carnage. Then I get a breath off as well to boot. But still, we're not winning this exchange overall. They're now trying to hit some of these more useful units in the ranges, which is our one main play to win in the range exchange. Oh. Oh. So are these chameleons hidden over here? Malekith still trying to cause some chaos back here. I believe I pull out because of these range units. Solar engine's almost out of ammo though, so from that side the exchange is working. Skaven artillery's almost out of ammo. They are absolutely making the High Elves suffer for it though. So I've managed to get a few more shots off with this artillery. Let's see if those skinks get involved again. I don't remember if they do. Ooh, another solar engine. Oh, they do try and get involved. Didn't notice that at all at the time. Can't remember if I try and counter them or anything.
I am wasted here.
More breaths going off in the distance. Yeah, I do notice them now, because I can hear my units charging. Yeah. So this becomes the next phase of the fight. The artilleries are mostly taken out of the situation, so it becomes a skirmish exchange. So as you can see, trying to intercept these skirmishers and take them out. We're out of breaths, they're out of artillery. It's about to become a full-on charge. These guys just pulling along my leader. The artillery does come back for a bit more. Now that those guys aren't involved, this one little unit can try and do what they can. Just look at this, 4 guys left. Just trying to make do. Oh wow, they've man-to-man 2 of them. Whoa, big spells going off from the dinosaur there.
No survivors.
Did they ever take a shot? Don't actually know. Here we go. Ooh. Hit the catapult still. There we go, the other chameleons reveal themselves, and so we go to take the Star Dragon in to deal with them. I start to pull out this left flank because this chase is pointless. They're just going to outrun me. In melee combat? Who are they in melee combat with? Oh yeah, no, it's too much. So you see, we have taken an absolute battering from this fight so far. My witch elves even got hit a bit by those chameleons. There's not much left to show, and here we go. This is it. The battle begins. It was sort of like a Napoleonic era fight, this battle in some ways, because we allowed for the artillery exchange, and now we're moving in with the big boys. So at this moment I pull the dread spears back so that when their dinosaurs engage, they're more in range of our high elf units. So as I said, we're really relying on these archers to do a lot of damage here. Which we do have a lot of them, but I'm worried because look at all these shields. They're all shielded units, didn't bring any without. All specifically to design designed to survive archer fire, high armor, shields, just yeah. So I leave my dread spears to try and hold the line. I send in some Way Watchers, Black Ark Corsairs, to just maybe pepper them a bit, get some exchanges going on. But look, more dinosaur spells on top of the artillery. Just yeah, this exchange has not gone our way. My artillery is still just trying to counter theirs. Don't even know if there's much point at this point. Probably should have been focusing more on the infantry units. Here we go though, we're about to hit some of these Saurus with archers. And they do a lot of damage. They do shred this first unit, but the problem is we needed it to shred lots of units, not just affect this first one. Still trying to pull out my Black Ark Corsairs, move in some Dread Spears to assist. And just look at that Carnosaur in the background, it's terrifying. All these arrows coming in, they're not in the slightest bit bothered, these dinosaurs. Send in the Witch Elves to intercept. Try and hold the line, but look, Carnosaur don't give a fuck. Still try and pull out those Black Arcs though, they're very useful. Stegosaurus doing what it does best, which is just absolutely shattering infantry. So it's really not going our way at the moment. And the Skaven decide to move in on that left flank. I hide away my left flank in here to try and maybe catch them off guard if I can. But again, with all skirmisher units, you really need cavalry to catch them. My buff does get popped, but it's a little late. Not much I can really do. Oh, I do have a... what's it called? Yeah, I do have a Death Hag somewhere. I forgot about you. So here we go. I play my hand on the left flank, which I probably shouldn't have. I'm hoping the breath slows them down enough. Oh, look at this. Tekla's trying to pull out his spells. But these dinosaurs are just going to rampage through this infantry. It's exactly what they want. My Witch Elves just getting finished off by these Croxagores. It's not a pretty sight. My Dread Spear's just going to shatter. Look at them, just getting out of there. Still got some units here where I expected the Skaven to join in. They didn't really. Don't really manage to catch many of the Skaven offhand. They do a pretty good job of running and pulling, running and pulling, and running and pulling. Look at it, they pull all the way out. I do still have my range units up here, and I'm hoping they put in a lot of work, because I need them to, really. So yeah, this right flank, really not going well, just the big dinosaur units are absolutely obliterating. More on my Black Art Corsairs being caught out. Croxigors are a big damage, scary units. Don't blame them for leaving, really. My ally, the High Elves, just tried to reform some lines to get some firing positions off, but against such big units it was pretty pointless. There's no anti-large apart from his spears, and he's not really engaging in melee with the spears, he's more engaging with the archers. Does send in a dragon. Not sure what he'll do against a wizard, if I'm honest. He's got very little health left, he's very tired. Here we go, some more of these firing lines being set up, as I said. They do break some. And I try and act as his wall whenever I can. But here we go, the Skaven absolutely tipped the balance of the battlefield is at the moment. Whoa, another big explosion there on my Witch Elves. Dinosaurs rampaging, no longer fettered by archers, they're just in the midst of us. Not much I can do. And now the Skaven have complicated things even more. Assassins just running through my lines. These guys are really, really good at taking out leaders, but luckily our leaders are out of the fight from them. Send in my Black Guard of Nagarons to try and cut them off, which is a good play because these guys are really high tier elite units. And they do their job well. They take on all of these Skaven units here. They even spawn some on me. Dragon still chasing off that wizard. I think he actually succeeds, yeah. My leader has gone in to fight the dinosaurs, and look at this, just gets surrounded. Not much he can do there. We try and reform some more lines, get some more firing shots off, because that's our only real play to wear them down. But the rat ogres make that an absolute impossibility. Literally running through the lines. Chucking these high elves around. They see my leaders on the ground and a star dragon and start to reform lines there. Skaven getting attacked by my death hag, which is not a lot she'll be able to do. And then if we slow it down quickly, get a quick look at what's going on, you can see our line's been completely pushed back. We just have no real coordination at the moment. We also don't have many units left, whereas the Skaven have this really annoying ability to be knocked out and come in, and be knocked out and come in, and come in, and come in, and come in, until we kill their leader. And obviously we can't get anywhere near their leader because of the assassins and all the other lord units he brought with him. So it's kind of a... it could go either way at this point. If we can win the left flank, we can go reinforce the dinosaur flank, but if our right flank folds, the dinosaurs are just going to sweep across what we have left. So it could go either way. Dinosaurs still rampaging, which is always useful for us, because it doesn't really allow for the dinos to have that much coordination in the fight. I think we could have served from having maybe a few monsters from the High Elves, at the very least a bit of artillery, because just having these range units meant when the melee fight begins, we have nothing to really show for it. They can just walk all over us, which they do. I mean, we do make them suffer for it, but not to the point where it's an even trade. They still got Temple Guard running around and Croxigors. I believe my Black Art Corsairs actually managed to hide away in the forest over here. Yeah, they do. The Croxigors, I can't remember why, but they get pulled off. And these hand bows are just hanging out now. They'll play a part later on. So again, we try and reform some semblance of a line again. I leave my Black Guard and my Death Hag to just try and hold them back, because these I was hoping these high tier Black Guard of Nagaron would just be a tasty opportunity, too much for them to resist, so they would commit a lot of forces to it, which they do. But still, they take a lot down with them, if I remember right. Look at that fella, you're way off, buddy. You missed. My Black Guard doesn't give a fuck. He's ready to fight. You're over there. So yeah, let's stick it back on play and see what goes on from here. So as I said, you can see, we're still trying to reform a line. Archers still trying to get shots off where they can. But these rat ogres are really going to play a big part. Star Dragons retreated, my Death Hag's retreating. Dinosaurs still causing chaos. Croxagores, I'm pretty sure they broke here. Swordmasters of Hoth, just absolutely last chance saloon. These 8 units charging into that mass. Oh, it's to save their lord who's in there. Didn't even realise. Do love the Tyrion there. So here we go. What left I have in my army, I'm pulling as far back as I can to get one last chance saloon. Archers still trying to whittle away, but look, dinosaurs just gonna wreck through these lines. Archers can only do so much in the face of Temple Guard. Skaven pushing forward after my Black Guard. Still there. Still trying to hold their point, but lots they can't do against skirmishers. They're heavy units, they're slow. Skirmishers are just going to outrun them. So here we go, last big charge here. This is the final phase of the battle. Both really only have these units left to offer. I think I do remember these guys exist in a second and bring them in. Some of Death Hag's going. What's left of my inventory is going. My leader's in there. Got some more Black Arcs. But overall, look at all this. Only one assassin is almost dead. The leader's on me. I'm really desperately trying to pull my leader out. You can see my orders coming through. And we are just... It's a mass rout on this left flank at the moment. On this right flank, for some reason... Tyrion's able to just hold back the entirety of the dinosaur army, as it were. Doesn't even care. And my Death Hag comes back, and my Black Arc, they're coming in for the fight. So let's follow these guys for the second showing. They're firing while they're moving. They're trying to come in and save Tyrion. You can see that flank's just shattering over there. I believe at this point I hold them still, so that my leader can come over with them, so they get a leadership bonus for a final stand. Nope, here we go. Last big charge. Death Hag and Pirates meeting the dinosaur lines head on. Here we go. Get in there, boys. Ooh. Black Arcs doing what they can. Malekith hanging out above. Croxagores decide that's enough of this nonsense, I'm out. That entire flank's gone, and so in comes Dinosaur Leader to try and finish me off. But here we go, Star Dragon plays its last hand and gets in this fight. And he decides to take on the leader. Corsairs still trying to run around, finish off what units they can. You can see Skaven just shattering what's left over there. My leader's back in the fight. Dragons making their last stand together. Ooh. Hitting lots of dinosaurs there. My Black Arcs in the mix of it. Whoa, just slapped him about with his tail. And then the Death Hag thinks she's out as well. Can't remember how long she lasts. And then this guy, the Dinosaur Leader, who just wouldn't die. Oh, big hit from the Star Dragon. Oh, I have a unit of Dread Spears in here as well. Oh. There goes the Death Hag. She's got nothing left to give. She gave it her all. Corsairs still fighting these Temple Guard who are so strong. Star Dragon goes down. And I believe at this point there is only really Tyrion, my Black Arcs, and my leader. And my Black Guard of Nagarond chased off all the Skaven they could. I'm trying to get them back in, but I'm not sure if they'll get here in time. My Black Arcs decide that's enough, my king. With one last charge coming in from this T-Rex, they got out just in time. But yeah, it was a good fight. Probably lost it on the setup of our armies, if I'm honest, but see you guys in the next episode.